Hey guys, Nova Bushido back again, and hope you guys are doing alright. And today we got a video talking about the skill system from old school and new school, just to have a bit of a talk to see where I'm kind of at between the two and where I would like to see the series go in the future. I've seen a lot of debate in my live streams online and just about people talking about the systems and what they like and what they don't like. So I'm going to go through what I like and don't like in this video. Let me know what you think below. Like and subscribe. Always leave a comment. I'll definitely reply. And yeah, let's get into this video. So we're going to start about what I like about the old system. So if I start at the top, you had to put more thought into each skill you took. That was something I really enjoyed when it came to the old system. The fact that you could only have about, in G rank, you'd have about 4 skills. You wouldn't have too many. Yeah, some will be like +2 or +3, even, the better ones only are +1 of how effective the skill was. The limit on how many skills you had really allowed you to really make a concise build on what you wanted. You didn't have all these random skills laying about active that you don't even need for your set. And I actually really like that. I like that about the old school way of building your builds. It was quite fascinating for that. Yeah. Okay, going on next. Some skills were balanced with negative skills. So yeah, I thought it was quite fascinating having negative skills to really balance how some skills would actually work. So for example, a really good one is handicraft and sharpness. If you got handicraft, that would give you -1 on sharpness, and if you got sharpness, it would give you -1 on handicraft. And I thought that was really cool, as you couldn't get both skills unless you had a really good talisman and you invested really well to get both, as they both do similar things in different ways. It kind of balanced out from allowing people to take too many strong skills who would really boost a set a bit too well. I really like that dynamic, and I think it actually helped balance some of the builds a bit better than otherwise. I can understand that some people don't like that. In fact, I'm going to go into soon about what I like about the new system, and some of the things that I like about the new system is actually about no negatives, but we'll get into that too. Just because I like something about the old system doesn't mean the opposite for the new system. I can see positives in both directions of having negative skills and not negative skills, and I'm going to show you that in this next section. So let's get into it. Okay, what I like about the new system, so it has more freedom to build sets. I mean, because you have so many more skills you can put on a set, and you have a lot more slots now, and how the decorations work, you can easily build quite a lot of builds a bit easier. You can mix and match things you want to test out. If I want to test out, hey, what happens if I stack up loads of crit, I can do that. If I want to test out, what if I make the tankiest build with defense, recovery speed, recovery level, divine protection, all that stuff, I can do that. It's a bit easier than in old games, as you may only get 2 of the defensive skills, and the rest would have to be some other type of skill. Or you maybe only be able to get 2 crit skills, and the rest would have to be another type of skill. So it's quite, I do quite like the fact that you can do that in new systems. It is quite enjoyable in the freedom that it gives you to make some builds. Also, it's easier to understand for new players. I think this is pretty evident, definitely during my play time with people I've played over the years. I've seen so many people join a lobby in the old school games where they would have just random skills. It's possible they just didn't care and they just wanted armor just to grind through. But if I'm playing Monster Hunter GU and I see someone with HR8 or HR12, sorry, and they don't even have a set, in my mind I'm thinking this guy probably doesn't understand how to build a set, and maybe I should explain to him how it's actually done, because the game doesn't really explain too well how to build a set in most of the Monster Hunters. Maybe in some of them more than others, but I don't remember them explaining in GU, and I don't remember them explaining in Try or 3U at least. But yeah, it's easy to understand for new players, and I think that's healthy for the game, and that's good for new players to get an easier and smoother introduction into the series. So I think that's really cool. And the third point is that you can often find a slot or two to put something niche into the set. So you might have, like, let's say you might have all the damage you want, and then you're like, you know what, I have 2 level 1 slots or 3 level 1 slots, maybe I can get sharpness in, maybe I can get some defense or a recovery level. You can really, it allows you to actually build in some of the niche skills, some of those decos. Maybe you have a level 2 or level 3 slot you don't have any use for, you can build in something that you normally wouldn't. While in the old system, I mean, I did say I like that you have to be concise, but because you have to be concise, it doesn't really leave you room to try out new stuff if you really want a certain build. I mean, I can see both strengths in both sexes. Once again, guys, I can see strengths in one that might be an opposite of the other, but I can also recognize some weaknesses, which we'll get into now about what I don't like about the old system. So when it comes to the old system, there's only one point I have here, and this is due to poor balancing, and it's probably because of the limited skills you'll have to take. utility and defensive skills are not really thought of at all. This is pretty evident to me. I haven't seen anyone in my history of playing since Try to GU of anyone even caring about a defensive or utility, stamina. I haven't seen anyone care about stamina at all. I think this has more to do with balancing and where, you know, you can have dash juice, so stamina skills are redundant, or just defensive things in general. People don't really care about defense as much. They, you know, they think about, you know, evasion +2 is better, or, you know, just getting out of the way is better, you know. So I think that some of the skills are really just left on the back burner. They're not really used because of how the game is built to limit you in how many skills you take. You know, people will try to take as much of what they need and they'll leave out so many other things, and it's hard to experiment. I mean, I do like the fact that you know, you have to be more thought into each skill and each skill is important to you, but that also leads to so many skills being left out because people just can't find them in their builds, and the game itself doesn't find a way to make it as useful as it should. Now, I don't inherently think this is an issue. This is solely the issue of the system, the build system of the skills. No, I think it's an actual problem with difficulty scaling the monster in general and the balancing of the skills itself. If dash juice wasn't so easy to get and it wasn't so strong in old games, I'm pretty sure people will be looking forward more towards stamina. If stamina was more punishing in those old games, people look for stamina more useful. If things like evasion 2 wasn't so strong, maybe people look for defensive stuff more than others. You know, things like that. There's other things in other parts of the game which make it a bit harder for the monster on the team to really drive people to want certain skills and certain builds. So it's not just a thing when it comes to the skill system of this one. It's a bit of a, you know, many different parts of the game. If they can really tighten it up, you know, people will probably think about these skills more. Another example is I've recently been fighting in GU. I've been fighting the EXs, and EXs hit so hard, and even with using Adept style or Valor style, they hit so hard. I'm contemplating finally pushing for some defense, get some defense too. Maybe that'll help me out. Maybe there's something to help me stay alive because they're hitting too hard and I can't survive. So things like that, like situations to really drive the hunter to go for things they don't need. It's kind of hard in the old games. That's not currently there, but there's ways the old system could fix that to make that happen, and we'll get into things in the end about what I want to fix. That's pretty much it for the old system. It's just that one point, but it's quite a big one for me, general. But now let's move into what I don't like about the new system. So the new system, this one's just a personal one because I don't think people care about it much, but full sets aren't a thing. You know, the games heavily favor mixed sets. I know people love mixed sets, but I don't know. For me, ever since I started Monster Hunter, I just love the idea of having that one set, hunting that monster, just filling out the set. One big example for me is one of my favorite armors in Monster Hunter in general was the Glacier Ignator. He had guard up, and fencer, and then you could put in another skill as well. So sometimes I'd put attack, sometimes I'd put sharpness, and so on. And I thought that was a fantastic set because it was Lancer to a T. You didn't want to bounce off with a Lancer, so you need fencer. Guard and guard up is really good for a lance. So I just felt like I was the lance. That was the lance armor, and I felt really good about that. Similar in GU, Gravios's armor gives guard, it gives guard up, well, it gives stalwart, which gives guard up and stamina recovery, I believe. And then it also has, I can get attack large 2, I can get guard 2, I can get tenderizer. And it feels like this is the lance set improved for G rank, and I think that is the set. I just run the whole set. I got a good talisman to help me get tenderizer and attack large, and that's fantastic. I really like that about those, the old games. In some of those old games, definitely in GU, and even more in GU, when you can have Deviant armors, which gives you a whole set of 5 and even 6 armors in some cases, because some skills give you 3 skills when you get to the X skill unlocked at rank 14, I believe. I think it's fantastic. Just running that one full build. In the new games, full sets aren't a thing anymore. It's worthless. Maybe a bit more in world, maybe, but it wouldn't, not really, because it's only like you take 2 parts of the armor, maybe 4 parts of the armor max. But in most cases, it's like, I just need these 2 parts for a bonus, and then the rest is redundant. I don't need the rest anymore. I really like the idea of having just that, nice set, and maybe that nice set has good decorations, and I can build out some really cool builds with that one set, that one lancer set, maybe that one sword and shield set or something. Like, I really like the idea. So hopefully we can see more full sets come into focus, because I just love full sets, and that's just me. I know it's not everyone, but that's just me. Next one, you can get too many skills. Now, before I did say it's more free to make skills, and that's cool, but that doesn't mean you should be able to get this many skills. The amount of skills you can get in Monster Hunter World and Rise is ridiculous. Some of my friends think it's better in Rise than it is in World. I still think in both games, regardless, there's too many skills. It's not good. In my opinion, I think, you know, in high rank at max, with how the game is, let's say you can max out everything. You know, level 5 guard, you know, 7 attack. Let's say you've done that, you maxed out. You should only be able to max out probably like 3 skills in high rank. 3. And then maybe 2 other skills you can get like halfway. I would accept that. I would probably say more of like 4 skills. Not even 2 skills halfway, like maybe, but you know, 3 skills maxed out and then 2 skills halfway, I would say is what you should be able to do. Or maybe not even that, because if you're maxing out skills now, when it gets to G rank, they just have to increase the threshold. We shouldn't be able to get 7 attacks so easily. We shouldn't be able to get 5 crits so easily. I think that is a mistake. Personally, it's too easy to get skills, and it's just too many skills. I'm going to talk about what I would do later, but I'm just going to talk about a bit of it now. Is that, just in case I forget, because I don't have a script here, I'm just going off head. For low rank, I would have 3 or 4 maxed out skills, probably more like 2 or 3 maxed out skills. In high rank, I would say 4 or 5 maxed out skills. And in G rank, I would say 5 or 6 maxed out skills, with some skills for you to, like, you know, mix in maybe at level 2s or level 3s. And that's the highest I would do, because I mean, even I think that's maybe a bit too much, but I think, you know, that's fair enough for what people are accepting now. Because right now, I know when we get to G rank in Sunbreak, it's going to be similar to Iceborne, where you can have like 10, I don't know, 12 skill, 11 skills just maxed out. It's going to be insane with decorations and everything. I think it's a bit too much. The skill system is a bit too bloated up with too much power creep. It's something they need to adjust for the new games. Maybe they can adjust it a bit in Sunbreak, I guess we'll see. But yeah, that's it for that one. Lastly, what I don't like about the new system is, well, because you can get so many skills, offensive skills are pretty damn ridiculous. One example is, you know, people just banging out, okay, I'm going to get crit eye, I'm going to get crit boost, I'm going to get tenderizer, I'm going to get attack, I'm going to get handicraft, just throwing in the skills. I'm going to get master's touch, just everything, because they can have a weapon with 0 crit, and in the end it can end up having 100% crit if they're hitting the right part. This is a problem, I think, for the game. I don't think it's really healthy. Some people might disagree with me. They might say it's a PvE game, who cares? But even in PvE games, really good PvE games, balance is very, very important. Because if there's one thing that's busted, for example, if there's a weapon that's so busted, let's say, for example, bow, let's say you can kill, I don't know, I know bow is really, really strong, and a lot of the bow guns are really, really strong, but let's say theoretically you can kill every monster with a bow in 1 minute, and then you're sitting there with a weapon like a lance or a gun lance or a great sword, a hammer, and you're like, well, I'm sitting here, I'm trying harder than the other person, I think I'm more skilled than the other person, and it's taking me 12 minutes, it's taking me 15 minutes to kill this monster rather than 1 minute with a bow, because of the ridiculous power creep in the weapon. That's not fair. Maybe I should just play a bow, and in the end you're gonna make people feel begrudged for the weapon they're playing. It's not really going to be a good experience when it comes to gameplay as a whole. You need to be really tight on how you allow people to use stuff. It shouldn't be, there should be freedom, but too much freedom can lead to crazy experiences which don't really indicate how the game should be played, in my opinion. I am personally a more strict balancer in general than most people, so I understand that most people wouldn't accept that, but I think offensive builds are way too strong because of the fact you can get too many skills. This does feed on to the previous point, but it's just more of an amplifying it, that you can get crazy stuff now, which, you know, I don't think should be able, definitely this early in high rank. This is more like G rank stuff, and even beyond G rank stuff, and we're getting it. It's pretty insane. Yeah, I think I've probably gone on really long, but Now we're going to talk about what I actually think we should do, or the Capcom team should do, to fix all these problems. I don't think either system is perfect. As you can see, I've talked a lot about what I don't like about the systems. I've said what I do like about the systems. What I think they should actually do is a balance of both. So on one point, I think the new system can work, but it needs to be harder to get certain skills. Armor shouldn't be given that many skills to really get to where we are right now. Maybe in low rank, each piece gives you like 1 or 2 skills. That's good. And then in high rank, maybe 2 or 3, and then a slot. Stuff like that. We don't need so many as we're getting now. I think it's a bit too crazy. It needs to be toned down a bit. I think that's one way of fixing it. Guys, I think the new system is really good. It does make it easier for people to understand. And being more free, that's what people seem to want, so that's good. But at the same time, being so free shouldn't make it mean that you don't have to put any thought into actually what I want to take. You should be able to think about what you need to take. So you should limit the skills they can get in the first place. I think that's really important. That's very important. It doesn't just stop there. Like I was alluding to before when I was talking about balancing the negative skills and so on. Skills need to be balancing. What I really like about Rise is skills like stamina is important. In any Monster Hunter game in the past, I've never cared about stamina. Definitely in World, stamina was, you had so much stamina in World, it was insane. But Rise, they really nerfed stamina, which I love, because it actually pushes me to bring things like continuity, I think it is. I can't remember what it's called. But bringing those stamina skills, so I can actually keep up my stamina for longer. And I think that's a fantastic thing. You should be able to push. You should be pushing your people, your gamers, to need to go for those skills. So I think that's great. I think they need to do more. They need to balance the game around these skills. Another example would be resistances. If they can make it so you need resistances more often than not, that'd be great. Right now, in pretty much every game I played, the exception might be Monster Hunter 3. In 3, I don't ever care about resistances. I don't think anyone cares really about resistances. Maybe it's like, oh yeah, maybe you need fire rares, sure, but like it's an afterthought. It's not like I need a set to protect me from this monster. It's, oh, I need really cool skills, and you know what, oh wait, I have really bad res. You know what, let me go eat for res plus, res boost. That's what it's come down to, rather than thinking beforehand about resistances. And it's because monsters don't hit enough with elemental damage. Defense takes away from too much of elemental damage, and I'm going to talk more about that in another video, because I think I can go into that very deep. But it's just, I think more needs to happen there. Things like that need to be more important, so it really pushes people to bring certain skills rather than just whatever. So I think I would go more in that direction, and I think it would really benefit the systems that we have now. But this video has got longer than I expected. Hope you guys are doing alright. Hope you guys have a good day. Like the video down below if you like. If you don't agree with anything, leave a dislike, comment down below, let me know why. If you do like, leave a comment, and let me know why you like too, because I want to know. I want to interact with you guys. I love doing that. That's it for today, guys. I'll catch you guys next time. See you.